My name is Demetrius Ely. I am the Brexit, New Jersey State Director. I grew up with such a diverse view of the world from my parents. In my household, we were allowed to review, research, understand, and take our own stances on different things. During the Trump presidency, I began to see things that I knew were true. I knew that his plan for the inner cities, this thing is focusing on financial literacy, building wealth in the Black communities, families being able to purchase homes, better schools and things of that nature. Why would we, regardless what side of the aisle you're on, turn down something that's good and beneficial for your generations to come? That didn't make sense to me. So Brexit is doing everything they can to build a better community. What we are doing, you're taking a person who may have been afraid to even say, I have conservative views and values, and then bringing them out to our inner city community and
And welcome to Liberty and Freedom with Porsha and Brian. How is everyone doing? And how are you doing, Porsha?
I'm good. How are you?
Doing good. It's been a hectic 5 minutes, but no one needs to know what all was just going on with me. Yes. It just basically was just life on the road. So I made it. That's the important part. So
yes, that's good.
So first off, Brexit, Texas is a chapter of Brexit Foundation. And if you want to know more about Brexit, you can look at the scroll right there at the bottom there. Yeah. So now we have a couple of announcements of events. And first off, on the 30th, that's on a Wednesday, we will have a membership drive at Topgolf. And these are two events that are in Dallas and Houston. And both events are going to be in Topgolf in Dallas and Houston. And it's March 30th at 7:30. So if you want to, hang out with us, I know I will probably be at the Dallas event on the 30th. And
Houston is far.
Huh?
Houston is far away.
Yeah. Oh, well, you got Dallas too. So
that's far away too.
Yeah. Well, yeah, true. So our state director, Lucky Campbell, she'll be at the Houston location. So we have that coming up also on the 14th. Our assistant state director, Lisa Abraham, will be speaking at the True Texas Project meeting in Dallas County on April 14th. And she'll just be talk about Brexit, Texas and other things as well. And also we have a after party. So speaking of True Texas Project, they have an event, a gala on April 23rd. And that event goes from 7 to 10. But we as Brexit, Texas are going to, I guess, keep the party going and have a after party at Wilhort's. I think I'm saying that right. But we'll have the information up as far as that. That'll start at from 10 to close, I guess. It'll be after the True Texas Project gala. And so those are all the events coming up at least until, well, last but not least, but as far as Brexit, Texas go, but we also have our Tampa rally. So for one of our major Brexit rallies, which will be in Tampa, Florida, that'll be on April 9th. And so, if you're able to make it down there, you'll have Candace Owens, Brandon Tatum, Larry Elder, Robbie Starbuck, performance by Topher. And I think we still have more speakers coming. And so we'll make those announcements. If you've been looking on the Facebook page, you have seen the speakers that are coming up. So now, one thing we did get we didn't really get into last time is talking about you, Porsha. And for people that don't know, so give the people a bit of an introduction to who you are.
Well, I wasn't expecting that. I'm
I'm
Porsha.
sorry. I'm gonna mention that.
I don't know. I don't really have too much of an introduction. I'm Porsha. I am really involved in politics in Tarrant County. I have been for many years now. I wasn't always conservative. I have the stereotypical Blexit story, or from the left to the right story, as most other Black people that I've met that have not been conservative, if not for their whole lives or majority of it. I'm just glad that I found out when I did, and I only voted once, and I didn't make that decision more than once. And the way that I comfort myself at night is by saying that, I didn't have enough information, or I wasn't curious enough about the information to bring myself to where I am today. Because whenever I think about it, I'm just filled with so much regret, and I do not like the person that I used to be. But however, I'm just I'm out here in Texas, just contributing as much as I can, when the time permits, and I'm glad to be here. I'm so glad to be a part of this conservative movement, and I'll keep it a conservative because Republican is a different thing right now. So, that's how I vote. I still vote that way, but still, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the way of asking them, I guess I should just ask, when was your Blexit? I guess that kind of would be the.
I think 2016, 2015, probably.
Okay.
Somewhere around that. I actually think it was 2015. I can't remember the exact time frame. It was something that I referred to as the Beyonce awakening. We don't have enough time for that, but I call it my Beyonce awakening, not my Blexit awakening. It was just something to do with.
That's a topic for another episode.
It was just something that had to do with the people that say that they are for Black people. What are they doing to, be more present and encouraging Black people to uplift themselves instead of being victims? And then you had Trump, Hillary, and all that negativity surrounding Trump. I was like, well, Black people have always loved him. He couldn't be that bad. So I just did some research, and it was simple. It was like, I Googled, what is a Democrat? What is a Republican? And I was like, oh gosh, I've never been a Democrat. And then there you go.
That kind of sounds like mine. I mean, for people that don't know, mine was in 2008, and so it's pretty much kind of the same, where you kind of did your own research, kind of wanted and look into different sides, and just kind of want to know where you stood. Actually, I mean, well, at least for me, that's why I was. So I just wanted to give you that opportunity, because we really didn't get into it last month. So since last month, we've had the Texas primary, and so from that we have a number of runoffs coming up, and they're not until May 24th. So it's not that close, but so from the primary and all the way down to governor, to county commissioners and stuff like that. So so the work is not done, especially even with the primary itself, because you still got the runoffs going on. So make sure you check out what your polling location, as far as if you want to early vote and all that, so what's up when it's time for early voting when it comes to runoffs. But one other thing I wanted to mention is that well, first, I'm pretty sure the news of this week has been centered around the Supreme Court confirmation hearing of Judge Jackson. Now, is that any relation?
No.
No? Okay.
Absolutely not. Please.
Absolutely.
Don't. Absolutely not.
I mean, I had to ask. I mean, might have been. I mean, but yeah, I'm pretty sure that's a lot of people have heard about the confirmation hearings and everything, and I got a lot to say. To be honest, I'm thinking probably the most of our time is going to be on this. To be honest, at least from what I got to say. So, from all that you've read and seen, so what you think about what's going on, and as far as Judge Jackson goes?
I think it's disrespectful. I've never been, even whenever I was not, because I always say I wasn't aware, that's why I voted left. I've never been a fan of affirmative action. I think that is just something to snatch away from the wholeness of who I am, because I don't ever want to feel like just because I'm Black, that's why I got it, or just because I'm a woman, that's why I got it. Like I know that if I were in her position, and I know that this is just me saying, because people say, well, you don't know if you've never been in that position. I'm not going to do something because Joe Biden said I was going to pick a Black woman, just like with Kamala Harris. That to me, you just devalued me. So that's going to be my first thing with her. My second thing with her is that while she may be educated, and I will never take that from her, because I'm going to always, I do not care what it is always going to impress me to see Black people doing incredible things and in power positions like this. She's a judge, she's not out here parading around like Cardi B, or is she Black? Megan Thee Stallion, we know she's Black. But I love seeing Black women in power positions like that. She's a family woman, she's a wife. She has very conservative principles, as it seems, on the forefront. She even talked about her religious base. But what I don't like is her, I don't like the way that she, first of all, she doesn't know if she's a woman or not. So to me, that should disqualify her. She says she knows that she's a woman, but she doesn't know what a woman is. That bothers me. I take strong offense to that, because trans.
Now, I mean, so are you telling us you're a biologist? That's what you're telling us? I didn't. Oh, I didn't know.
Every
month
I'm a biologist. Every month, once a month, every month. I'm a biologist every month. I tell you that. So I don't know about Ketanji. I mean, she's been pregnant. So, but hey. Listen, I'm not. I don't like that at all. I don't like the fact that the whole trans thing is like hijacking real women, and for her to just not be able to give that definition. If you can't define a woman, I don't know. You can't do your job. That's an easy question. But her sentencing towards pedophiles, no, absolutely not. There's so many things about her that I'm just like, I'm not okay with, but I know that they're going to push her through. So this will just be me complaining.
Yeah. Well, I mean, in the Senate, I mean, still, as far as the breakdown goes, it could not. I mean, maybe it's a chance. I mean, I doubt it too. I mean, especially if it goes down party lines, even
the white person that says, the white person or the non-Black person that didn't confirm the first, even though she's not the first that was up, of a Black woman, but who's going to want to be the person that doesn't want that goes against confirming the Black woman, because then you'll be racist.
And that is the threat that is hanging over everyone that wants to vote against her. That is the pressure that they're putting on. It has nothing to do with how she has her rulings. It has nothing to do with anything about that. All it is just basically a threat about, how you're going to vote against the first Black, whatever. Even it doesn't even matter if we're talking about Supreme Court justice or anything else. There's always that threat that they hang over people who are not Black, and like, well, if you don't do that, you just automatically racist. No, I just don't think the person is fit for the job. And
right.
but yeah. Now,
makes me think of Dave Chappelle whenever he was doing his Rick James and his thumbs down. That would be me. Where's Tim Scott? Because all of this white guilt looming over the Senate is like, okay, listen. Could y'all ask some other Black people, not the mainstream Black folks that y'all deal with all the time, ask some other Black folks and what we think, because no. But I can't take the guilt, all of that guilty stuff, and I feel bad because she's Black, and what if I don't do it? Don't nobody care about that. It's principle. She's not principled. She did the Pizzagate. She was the judge that sentenced what's his name, Edgar, to 4 years in prison for the Pizzagate because of what he was trying to investigate about the pedophilia ring. And she's sentencing pedophiles to 2-3 months in jail. Make it make sense.
And here's the thing about, especially for us in Blexit, because criminal justice reform is one of our pillars. But see, this is not the type of reform that we're advocating for. With what Judge Jackson has been, as far as her rulings and her lenient sentences, to something horrific like pedophilia, and how she basically is defending, defending her ruling, but also kind of defending them as far as trying to make them sound sympathetic towards the horrific things that they're doing to children. And it's not only that; it's also as far as other issues as well. And look, I would say she's more of an activist. If she would be on the Supreme Court, she would be more of an activist on the bench, as opposed to, judging the case fairly according to the law. So, but yeah, I just want to make that point too, because I know we in Blexit have, as like I said, one of our pillars is criminal justice reform. But what she's doing, that ain't it.
No, it's not. It's not it. Nothing that she speaks on is it. She lost me whenever I was doing my research and I seen, the whole critical race theory or her speaking on certain issues about her being a Black woman. And but I do love the piece about her mom and her dad. They're still together. She grew up very well. Her parents made sure. She and I actually, the thing about Ketanji is that for the majority of Black women out there rooting for her, she has nothing in common with them. Nothing. So the thing is that she has more in common with me and other Black women that are like me, because Ketanji wasn't on government assistance. She wasn't on welfare. She didn't come from a single mother household. Her mother is not a baby mama. She's a wife. Most of the women that are rooting for you, they are baby mamas or they came from single parent households. You didn't come from that. You had a very sound foundation, and you told us, according to you, words from your own mouth, your parents were sitting in the audience, that they raised you to be and to think and believe that you can do whatever it was that you wanted to do. But there's a whole host of people out there that are like, okay, well, Black women, they're the most unprotected women in the... No, that's not true, because look at you and look at the position that you're in, and whether I agree with you or not, it's still phenomenal to even be nominated to be a Supreme Court justice. But whenever you're talking about the system, white supremacy, or white men, or white this, white that, and your husband is white, I take strong issue with that. Now, if you're not out there like talking down on white people or talking about the system or critical race theory or things like that, I'm with you. I can rock with you till the wheels fall off. But your husband is white. They couldn't be too bad.
Yeah.
They ain't that bad.
Yeah, obviously. And this is not the first time you've seen something like that either. And it's funny because I mean, even the whole thing around her now is similar to Obama and Kamala. I mean, just basically just prioritizing color over everything, and it's to our detriment in our community. I mean, I don't care what your race, gender, whatever. All of that is a distant second compared to the policies that you're advocating for.
Right.
And I don't care if we're talking about Supreme Court president, vice president, dog catcher, whatever. It doesn't. That is a distant second, if not third. What are the policies that you're going to be advocating for, and in her case, how are you going to bring that to every case that's going to come before you?
I mean, I don't suppose we'll ever know. I mean, whenever you have these different people that they try to, put up these little poster children and stuff like that, I just try to listen to them. But I have a start-stop, and I have a hard stop. And so whenever I hear or I'm reading or I'm watching clips or whatever it is that I'm looking at, and I see you saying something that goes totally against how you live your life, everything else becomes null and void. So Kamala, the whole busing situation with Joe Biden, racist this or white supremacist this, but your husband is white. Ketanji, all of this, your husband is white, your kids are mixed. Like, you So for me, not to say that race is important, but they make it so important that I can't focus on anything else. So you're not like super pro-Black, because if you were like Pan-African, super pro-Black, you would be in a relationship with a Black person, but you're not. And you would have Black kids that are all Black, but they're not. So, it's just, there's nothing about her that's true to me, because the way that she lives her life does not match. It literally does not replicate anything that she talks about or the way that she rules. I have a certain opinion that I can't say here, but if you have a woman out here that's upholding pedophiles.
Yeah.
That makes me think certain things about who you're with. So, however, I don't know what that is. I don't know what that's about, but I don't think that she's a good representation of Black women. I don't think Kamala is a good representation of Black women. And although I know she's going to be approved, I'm just very disappointed that she's even in the running. They could have found somebody else. They could have picked a different Democrat.
And I mean, in the chance that she is not confirmed, but one thing about these hearings, a lot of it has come down, like one thing that you mentioned as far as the point, as far as she's saying that she can't define what a woman is, and she also threw out whether talking about the Second Amendment or talking about pretty much anything, she was basically saying, I don't have an opinion on this, that, and whatever. Huh?
She couldn't answer anything.
Yeah, but here's the thing about it. Please, anyone that is listening and or watching this, it's not like she don't have an opinion. Please don't think that she don't have an opinion. She's just not telling you her opinion. Right. Because trust and believe, if she gets confirmed, all of this, what she's saying, I have no opinion on, she's going to have a definite opinion on as soon as she gets in the Supreme Court. And so that's why you have to look back as far as her previous cases and things that she has written. Look back to all of that and, the stuff that has brought up in these hearings, because she has an opinion. For one, she wouldn't have gotten this far if she didn't have an opinion. And plus, she wouldn't be backed by all these different groups that if she didn't have an opinion as well. So she has an opinion, and don't make it think like, oh, well, she just, she just don't know or whatever like that. No, it's not that. She has an agenda. Let's put it that way. Yes. And as soon as she gets in, it's full speed ahead.
Yeah, it's we know she has an opinion. I've read plenty of her cases, like full transcripts, top to bottom. And I find it interesting that it's like she's the first, only ever Black person ever on the Supreme Court. Like Clarence Thomas, Thurgood Marshall has never been a thing, And I find it incredible that Democrats, especially, these Democrats, the Black ones, they so woke, they love Black people so much. But I guess as dark as Clarence Thomas is, I guess he ain't Black enough. That it's okay for you as a Black American to sit back and watch white liberals, white Democrats, and other non-Black Democrats diminish this man's existence. But he's Black.
And been doing that for decades. I mean, even during his confirmation hearing.
Yeah, and I'll never forget that. And I didn't see that, of course. I mean, I was not here with us. I was not on the earth when that happened. But as watching that, it makes me sick to watch Joe Biden just look at him with just disgust, like this filth, sitting here and do Clarence Thomas like that. And I totally admire Clarence Thomas. He is someone that I would really love to meet, but it's just like he's not even Black. Like we've just dismissed him. But we understand that, those of us in Black, so we know what it feels like to have our Blackness stripped from us.
Yeah, I mean, also speaking on, and also with President Biden, not only with what he did to Clarence Thomas, also to what he did to Judge Janice Brown, and trying to be in the U.S. Court of Appeals back in 2003, and he filibustered and basically got her nomination to fail one time in 2003, but she was eventually confirmed in 2005, and then she was kind of in the running for when I think it was Sandra Day O'Connor, I think, so to replace her. And when that came about, Joe Biden was the one saying, don't bring her up because he's going to filibuster her, and kill her nomination or whatever that. I mean, she was never officially nominated back then by President Bush, but yeah, don't let Joe Biden go around thinking like, oh, I'm the one that I was the only one who was progressive enough or whatever like that, quote unquote progressive, to want to nominate a black woman to Supreme Court. No, it was talked about, but Democrats had, as they always do, behind the scenes, try to basically squash that so they could take the pride for it.
So they could take the prize, but you know what I love the most? What I love the most about this is that Black Democrats, liberals, leftists, lunatics, whatever they want to be called for the day. Obama was president for 8 years. 8 years. He didn't nominate a black woman. And he didn't confirm any black women because he didn't nominate any. But you know who he did confirm and nominate? Non-black ones.
Yeah.
So we're supposed to be so, oh my gosh, he's for the people. Black Lives Matter. Not that much, because he could have nominated a black woman to the Supreme Court.
So during his, it was Kagan and Sotomayor.
Yes.
For him, yeah, okay, yeah, yeah. So
they don't look like Ketanji.
Yeah.
He didn't do it, so it's just like the fact that Joe Biden did it. It's just like Biden. Those of us that know, we know, but Obama didn't even do it. So I mean, I really don't have anything for this. It's like it's really empty, and it's just really it's disappointing. I hope she don't get confirmed, but I know she's going to, and then that's just something I'm going to have to live with until I die, or if she beats me to it. The fact that she's an affirmative action pick. No real drilled questions, nothing really too intense, nothing deep. It's just like, we're just going to roll her in here because she's black.
And, the thing about it is, it's not, even if she doesn't get confirmed, it's not like the next person Biden nominates is going to be any better.
Any better.
So, I mean, because we could, you could go down the list of whoever he's going to nominate. None of them going to be, as far as being an originalist to the Constitution and reading and interpreting the Constitution for what it says, as opposed to trying to make it say whatever they wanted to say, because that's kind of the difference between the two. You have one side that interprets the Constitution for what it says and keep it at that. The ones that are normally nominated and are nominated by Democrats, those are the ones tend to want to read it for whatever they wanted to say. And so they want to twist it and say, okay, well, the Second Amendment doesn't mean this because it was written so long ago and all that. They want to make it fit to fit according to whatever their agenda is at the time, as opposed to reading it for what it says and making a judgment just like that.
It's scary. It's a scary thought to think it's scary enough living in the society that we are and watching it go down in the way that it is. But someone like her,
Yeah. Well, we've hit the 30-minute mark. And so just wanted to, before we finish, I wanted to mention, I think I forgot, we do have positions opening, still open for Director of City for Biloxi, Texas. If you're interested in wanting to take that position, we have a job. I guess it's kind of like a jobs application on our Facebook page, and so we have all the details there. So if you are interested in being a city director, just go on there and fill out the application, and we'll get back to you as soon as possible. And so with that, I'm trying to think of what else. You have anything else? Got anything coming up?
I would just say make sure that you get out and vote for the runoffs in May. That's going to be very important. Although I have no doubts of us losing it all, it still matters if you get out and vote and make sure your voice is heard. And whenever you vote, don't just vote for the governor. Okay. Pick someone for every single box. Just don't skip, because our state, which it is a great state. You don't want to put it in jeopardy just because you only wanted to vote for the governor just to make sure it wasn't Beto. So make sure that you vote for every single person on that ballot, and then go vote. Okay. Yep. Where we actually get up and go to the polls. So get up and go to the polls, because it's important. You're necessary, and it is valued. It's a lot. We got a lot of work to do.
just a little bit of overtime here. Just to want to mention this because me and you were both election judges, and so you knew the ones that were only voting for one race when you're there, because they go to the ballot and they're only in there for a second and they're pop and they out. So you know they only voted for one race. It might have not been governor, but it was one race or one or two. Because that ballot was so long, there's no way you could have done that whole ballot in a second.
No, you needed about smooth 5-10 minutes. I mean, but a lot of some people, if they were standing in there, that they're like, okay, I don't know all these people, but going through, it's like, no, don't just do that, because whenever you skip over somebody, you're giving that vote to the Democrats, and you don't want to do that. So you might not know who they are, but just vote for them anyways, because that's one additional vote for a Republican that you want in that seat. And we might not always agree with a lot of the things that the Republicans are doing, but I assure you, it's better than what they're doing. So vote for everything about it. Vote for everything on the ballot.
That's pretty much my case, pretty much, because I mean I could have many issues with whatever going on with the Republican Party. I mean, look, I'm a delegate to the state convention, and I'm pretty sure there's a lot of things that we're going to be discussing at the state convention that I'm not going to agree with. But I know one thing, I agree a whole lot more going to that convention as opposed to going to the Democrat convention. I couldn't agree with nothing going on there. So yeah.
So yes, just make sure y'all do that in the state of Texas. We gotta hold Texas, hold the nation, and that's one of my favorite things. That Alan West said. You have to hold the state. Like it's us. Like Florida, gosh, God bless them, but. We can't keep on letting them outdo us. We're the Lone Star. So y'all make sure y'all get out and vote.
That's right. All right. So I appreciate everyone watching. And like I mentioned all the other events, try to go down right quick. So we have a golf event, Dallas and Houston, March 30th at 7:30 p.m. in Dallas and Houston. And then we have Lisa Abraham going to be speaking for True Texas Project in Dallas County on April 14th. And that's around 6:00 p.m. on April 14th. And then we have an after party on April 23rd after the True Texas Project Gala. And that is all we have until our next live stream, which will be the last Sunday of April, which I don't know what date it is, but that's the next time we'll be back. So thank you for watching, and until the last Sunday of April, we'll talk to you later.
All right, bye.